Okay, welcome back. Wolf 190D here with another battle in the campaign. Um, Not quite as even as it could be, I suppose. I think the enemy fleet here has the tonnage advantage. Not to mention, these are older ships that are starting to be phased out of my fleet. So, let's go ahead and get to some combat. Give you an idea of these guys here. Yeah, see, this is the old Atlantis class heavy cruisers. These were my entering into the dreadnought era. Actually, these were first builds. Um, so not sure how well they're still going to be able to perform. And this is one of my original light cruiser builds, though it has been heavily modified. Uh, Twin barrel guns, something that I did not have at the 1910 start, on the light cruisers anyway. And I don't know, I think it's a little lightly armed. The armor is still really effective though for a light cruiser. I put a 6-inch main belt on those things, and it seems to they seem to hold up just really well. Um, High capacity HE with capped AP shells. Okay, well, let's see how we do. And so it begins. I'm gonna go ahead and put him on save now that I know where they are. Just a couple of twin barreled deck torpedo tubes. And I'm going to go ahead and start maneuvering a little bit. Honestly, at this point, if I lose these guys, I mean, I'd rather not, just for the sake of avoiding giving the enemy team too much in the way of victory points. Oh, sneaky. Okay, yeah. You go ahead and arc around over there. Now, where did those torpedoes go? There they are. Yeah, as always, try really hard not to lose track of torpedoes, because they can cause a lot of grief. And by a lot of grief, that's not a euphemism. They can cause a lot of grief. Now, I do still have the high capacity HE shells. I've started fiddling around a little bit with going back to better penetrating HE shells. But the high capacities still work really well, especially for secondary batteries, because, well, they just start a lot of fires. However, I do have recent advances in technology, which include incendiary AG shells. Try to maneuver this guy so that we avoid those pesky little torpedoes. Oh, see, there we go. We got some homing torpedoes here, folks. We have homing torpedoes. No, we don't have homing torpedoes. We don't get homing torpedoes. The AI seems to have no problem with homing torpedoes, though. Is that a technological advancement? Can we research those? Semi-homing torpedoes in 1923. And you will notice that due to that hard turn, my my heavy cruiser pretty much came to a standstill. And it is an ongoing issue that I've had with these 8-inch cruiser builds at this point is that my 8-inch guns just are not, they're not there. Though, in all fairness, I haven't lengthened the barrels on these at all. Mainly because of the build I had where I stuck a fourth turret pretty much right there in the middle of my superstructure layout. I was trying to get more guns on there, but I think in retrospect it's probably not the best of design options. Definitely not the best of design options. Uh-oh. We might have a problem. Might have a problem. Nope. Okay, let's see if we can't, 8 inches. And I'm not going to go through his main belt. So yes, load HEs and burn him down. There we go. No, the APs just aren't going to work. So let's load HE and set him on fire. As my boy Simon Phoenix would say, set your ass on fire. Demolition Man, good movie. I highly recommend it. We might be close enough now to where those APs are going to function a little bit better. There we go. Switch it back. Because the angle is not there. Okay, switch it back. Giving us that broadside. And I turned a little too soon. Tricky little bugger. And excessive fire. Good. We burned him down. See, if you can't pen them and flood them out, load HE and set them on fire. Now this might be interesting because I think he's got 31 knots speed on his light cruisers. Now if I start punching holes and wrecking him, it'll slow him down quite a bit. There we go. Aft penetration did 35 damage. It must mean it was a small caliber weapon. Smaller caliber weapon anyway. It's one of the drawbacks of a lot of the German hulls is they're not the fastest ones. Either that or it's because this is a more modern, I think this is a more modern hull in the British fleet. Ergonomics, yeah, as your tech levels progress, your ergonomics get better. And you can, of course, build ships that are on a par much faster. This is still... These hulls are both early Dreadnought era hulls. So, not the best in the world. However, they're still very robust. They hold up very well, which is why I haven't completely scrapped all of them yet. I still like to have enough ships to float sea positions and stuff like that, so that I might, in any eventuality, so that I still might have some protection for my transports, which is really important actually. Sea control is very, very important. if for nothing else, keeping your transports alive. So if you have some extra ships and they are a little dated, not entirely necessary to scrap everything as they become obsolete. I mean, if you get into refits, you can, after a fashion anyway, keep a lot of your hulls viable, long past their operational usefulness. And again, if for nothing else, you get some fleets that you can just place in certain sea regions to control sea regions, so that they don't just, because the transports, it's a very important aspect of this game, keeping your transports alive. Which is why at the start of the game, one of the first things I do is max out my transport building capacities for that very reason. Oh, he tried to get on him. Tried. Looks like he might have been going for... You got us an overpin there. What's my torpedo tube doing? Looks like it's stuck. Super. Super. That's okay. We can do this the old-fashioned way, hopefully. Oh, there it goes. Looks like one of them got off. Not as well, not as good an angle as I would have hoped for, but nonetheless. Trying to keep my ship straight. There we go. And it's another issue. I left the slow torps on to give these guys range and a little bit of concealment factor on the torpedo tubes, but it doesn't really seem to be panning out very well. I'm going to take the collision avoidance off. And let's bully this light cruiser. Go ahead and bully him. Point blank range. Ooh, a couple of nice penetrating hits. Flood. And down goes Fraser. Nope. Tagged his engine. And this one's about done. So yeah, as you can see, the accuracy really has a bad drop off for these 8s, which is why 8-inch cruisers can sort of be really tricky to put together. 8-inch cruiser builds can be very tricky. Though there again, in all fairness, I'm moving into Mark IVs with a lot of my other ones, and it's also the real drawback of the 8-inch cruiser build is that the 8-inch guns are at the tail end of the small gun tech line, so they're oftentimes last as far as their progress and upgrades and whatnot on the other research tree. So yeah. Anyway. Ooh, he surrendered due to high casualties. Can I capture him? If only. It doesn't quite work out that way. So, yeah, you can see kind of pitiful main gun accuracy on both of my ships. The Grafton, the British heavy cruiser Grafton, had pretty good accuracy actually, but did not do as much damage. What was his armament? What was his armament anyway? Can I pull him up? Yeah, I'm looking at him right now. twin sevens. So that's actually pretty small for a heavy cruiser. Now I have seen people do heavy cruiser builds with 5-inch guns. Sounds kind of crazy, but from what I've seen, they actually perform really well against. It's like they make a really good heavy-duty anti-destroyer, anti-light cruiser platform if you do those. But this was just a first general purpose heavy cruiser build, so something to stick in my fleets, provide support fire for battleships, and pretty much the idea was to have the ability to chase down and destroy any remaining cruisers or destroyers in an enemy fleet. So anyway, there was that. And the campaign is progressing pretty well. I mean, I've got pretty much Central Europe on lockdown. The French are no longer on the mainland. I'm advancing into Italy here. Actually, Northwest Italy will be mine, I think, next turn. That's nice. And then I do have another naval invasion going on as well as a land invasion. So I'm sandwiching northeast England here. Capture that from the British. And yeah, I've kind of got a couple of battleship fleets over in the Asiatic side of things. I'm starting to work on taking over the Yellow Sea, and North Oceania is completely, with the exception of Hollandia here, owned by the Dutch, being completely under my control. So I try to keep a couple of floater fleets back there. You know, light cruisers and destroyers, nothing special, something cheap, just to sort of keep my power projection up there so that I don't lose transports if anybody decides to sneak some in there. All right. So, as always, thank you for stopping by. Please like and subscribe if you are enjoying the content, and I will be back with more updates on the campaign. Thanks again.